Pentesting Dropbox could be any device with a small form factor that you can hide somewhere in IT network of your target location. Pentesters will leave the Dropbox behind and access the network remotely. A Dropbox can also be a box sent by the security consultant firm to be installed on a network for a pentesting from a remote location. This could be hidden in a small networking equipment and go unnoticed, while the pentester has remote access into the network through it. Cybersecurity firm can conduct VAPD audit remotely by sending these Dropbox devices to an organization which has multiple branches. Let's see pentesting Dropbox workflow. This is our laptop and this is our pentesting Dropbox, which is Raspberry Pi. Normally in local network, you would fire up a SSH connection and connect to the Raspberry Pi Dropbox. But in an organization, here comes the company's firewall blocking our incoming connection. In our case, no one can SSH directly into the Dropbox. So what's the solution for this? We have set up virtual private server and we are calling it command and control server. Command and control server could be any VPS cloud server on the internet through which we can communicate to our Raspberry Pi. Same here. We can't SSH directly into the client. We can configure Raspberry Pi Dropbox to connect back to our CNC server. But however, connecting of Raspberry Pi Dropbox to CNC server, this alone isn't sufficient for our needs because it doesn't provide us with a working command line session of the Raspberry Pi Dropbox. In our scenario, reverse remote SSH tunneling will be the best method to connect to Dropbox. Let's understand reverse remote SSH tunneling. In our case, we are using Raspberry Pi as our Dropbox, in which SSH service is running in the background. And we have configured our Raspberry Pi to connect back to our remote server as reverse SSH. Let's see how it works. Raspberry Pi has initiated a SSH command to make a tunnel that opens up a new port on the server. In our case is 6425, which is indicating by orange color, and connects it to a port on your local machine 22, which is basically SSH default port, and it's indicating with green color. After initiating the command, remote SSH server listens on a given port which is 6425 and tunnels any connection to that port to the specified port on your Raspberry Pi Dropbox, which is 22. This allows anyone to establish a connection to remote server on specified port, and the connection will then be tunneled back to the Raspberry Pi Dropbox. Reverse SSH tunneling relies on the remote computer using the established connection to listen for a new connection request from the local computer. It's easier to set up than it is to describe. Hello everybody, in this video we're gonna learn how to build your own pentesting Dropbox that could be useful for conducting VAPD audit and to perform red teaming tasks. So before going ahead, you need to understand some core concepts like what is VAPD, SSH remote port forwarding, what is pentesting Dropbox and its workflow. So we covered those topics in the previous videos, so don't forget to check that out. The link is in the description below. We need a server on the cloud. This could be any VPS server. You can get it from any service provider like AWS, GCP, DigitalOcean or any other, so that our Dropbox make connection with it. So we are using PuTTY here to connect to our Ubuntu instance. The first thing first, we have to make changes in SSH configuration file. So type nano under the root partition etc, under that SSH, under that sshd_config and press enter. So scroll down and find password authentication yes, and uncomment that. And scroll down below, we have to add 2 lines at the bottom of these files. First is allow TCP forwarding. Yes, this will allow port forwarding on the server. And set gateway ports to yes. It allows anyone to connect to the forwarded ports. Save and close the file. After making that changes, restart the SSH service by running the following command: service SSH restart. Then we have to add a user named Tunnel. For that, you need to type add user tunnel. Also assign the password to the user. Done with the server part. So let's move ahead with our Dropbox configuration. So the first step is we have to download Kali Linux Raspberry Pi image file from the official website of OpenSea Security. So just Google Kali RPI download, click on the first link. Scroll down to the RPI section. Download the version of Kali Linux for your Raspberry Pi. After downloading, extract the image file from it. Plug the micro SD card into your machine. To write the Kali Linux image to an SD card, we will be using software called Balena Etcher. So you can download it from their official website. Here you have to select the image we have downloaded, or also you can drag and drop it. Select mass USB storage and click the flash button. It will take some time to burn the image into the micro SD card. Unplug the micro SD card from the card reader and plug micro SD card into the Raspberry Pi. After that, plug power cable and Ethernet cable to Raspberry Pi. Now we can SSH into Raspberry Pi using PuTTY. For that, we have to identify Raspberry Pi assigned IP address. You can log in into a Raspberry Pi using the default username root and the password is tour. Here the first step we have to do is change root password. Type passwd. This will prompt for a new password. Enter a new password and proceed. Second step is to change the hostname so that we can identify it if there is multiple Raspberry Pi connecting to the same server. To change a hostname, add hostname whatever you desire through which you can identify the device. Press Ctrl X and save it. Nano under the root partition /etc/host. Replace old hostname to new hostname. Press Ctrl X and save it. Third step is to add user and set up password for it. Type add user, username. Username could be anything, whatever you desire. This will prompt for a new password. Enter a new password and proceed. Press enter for the default. Done. Add user to the sudoers list. For that, type usermod -a capital G sudo username. This will add our user to the sudoers list. Next important step is to creating a SSH key pair for an user authentication. The simplest way to generate a key pair is to run SSH keygen without any arguments. Leave all the settings default and just press enter. Once the key pair is generated, we have to place the public key on the server that we want to use as a CNC server, which is basically our VPS. For that, type SSH copy ID tunnel @ following with the server IP. This will ask us the password of the user tunnel, which is already exists on the server that we have created before. As you can see, number of keys added 1. This means we have successfully set up public key on the server. To test the key-based authentication, you can SSH into the server. If all goes right, you should end up logged into the server without requirement of entering a password. First we have to update our distro. For that, type apt update -y. After updating, we have to install Auto SSH. Auto SSH make a persistent connection to the server that start a copy of SSH and monitor it. It uses SSH to construct a loop of SSH forwardings, and it's also requires some sort of automatic authentication to be set up. That's why we set up a SSH key pair before. For installing Auto SSH, you need to type apt auto SSH -y. You can also check out our blog. There you will find step-by-step commands so that you can follow up. Scroll down here. We have to add the Auto SSH command to etc rclocal to establish the SSH tunnel at boot. We have to enable /etc rclocal on systemd. First we need to create a file in systemd. For that, nano under the root partition etc, under that systemd, under that system rclocal.service. And then add the following content to it. Press Ctrl X to exit and save it. Next step is to create rclocal file in a root partition etc, which will add Auto SSH command. Copy the content from our blog and paste it in a notepad. We have to make some changes in this. As you can see, -m, which is monitoring port, we have to replace it any random free port. After that, replace FUID with the port that you want to be tunneled with the server with the local SSH. At the end, in a place of CNC user, type tunnel, and in place of CNC IP, type your server IP that we configured SSH key pair before. Copy all that, paste it over on rclocal file. For that, type nano under the root partition etc under that rclocal. Press Ctrl +X to exit and save it. Next, run the following command to give rclocal file a executable permission. Type chmod +X etc rclocal. To start RC local service at boot, type systemctl enable RC local. To start service, type systemctl start RC local. To check the status of RC local service, systemctl status RC local. Done with Dropbox configuration. Reboot once and let's test the connection. One of the way to access Dropbox through the server is you can SSH into the server and then into the Dropbox. By running SSH into the local host at a particular port, through that we can access our Dropbox. Let's log in into the server. Let's see connection using Netstat. Raspberry Pi Dropbox has initiated a SSH connection to user tunnel to this server. As you can see, our server is listening for that particular port. Now we can log in to our Dropbox. For that, type ssh raspberry pi user add localhost -p and the port that we have specified in the remote SSH tunneling. This will prompt us for a password of Raspberry Pi user. Enter the password and hit enter. As you can see, we are in. This user has root privileges as well, so we can perform many tasks without any problem. From here you can perform network scanning, vulnerability assessment, packet capturing and many more. Let's see a demo. दिख रहा है ना? You can SSH directly into the Dropbox without logging into the server. For that, type SSH Raspberry Pi user at server IP -p and the port that you have specified in the remote SSH tunneling. Let's see how we can do it.